Today, the moon continues in Libra with that focus on peace and balance and partnership and cooperation. And it goes into Scorpio at 6:35 a.m. Pacific time, taking us into that deeper place of mystery, transformation, that deeper place of truth inside of ourselves as we are moving through this bigger picture outer planet alignment. And I am Marina Orms here with your Astro Vibe for Tuesday, July 21st. I shared yesterday a screen share of what that outer planet configuration looked like on Sunday morning as the moon moved through a sextile to Uranus. And so we got to see how kind of just geometrically elegant and appealing this outer planet, very, very rare outer planet alignment is. And some of the themes of this outer planet I talked about in my podcast episode that came out on Sunday. That is episode 7, about this outer planet cradle and beyond, how we think about it, and how the different cycles between the planets give us the themes of what it is that is moving and changing. So you get that bigger context of what all these different interacting cycles are about. And so I highly recommend episode 7 for more detail about this outer planet cradle. But as the moon goes into Scorpio today, it takes us deep into ourselves, into what we feel on the inside and what is moving and changing inside of us as we surrender to to the bigger picture of change. And of course, not all change do we have to surrender to, right? There are changes in the outer world that we get to say, hey, wait a minute, I do not want it to go that way. I do not like that. And here's what I'm going to do to stand up for what matters to me, what I care about. And that Aries courage to be the warrior and take a stand to defend and protect the things we care about, but also to create the things that we want to see instead of whatever it is in the world that is not working. So those are all themes. And I do want to show you, just though, as we go through today's Scorpio moon, what this configuration looks like, just because I think this is so cool. Here is what we are talking about. This is the outer planet cradle formation without the moon. So this is just the 4 outer planets we're looking at. There's Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, and Jupiter. And so you can see that they're all at 4 degrees. So Pluto at 4 degrees Aquarius, Neptune at 4 degrees Aries, Uranus at 4 degrees Gemini, and Jupiter at 4 degrees Leo. So that's happening. That is exactly what they're calling the Barbeau basket, the cosmic cradle, whatever you want to call it. It is a cradle formation. It is 1, 2, 3, 4 points of a 6-pointed star. And in yesterday's video, we saw how the moon jumped in here at 4 degrees Libra on Sunday to form the 5th point of a 6-pointed star, which the 6th point was 4 degrees Sagittarius and was left empty. So anyway, you can watch yesterday's video to see that. But here's what happens when we take this outer planet cradle and we add in the moon for today. So we're looking at today, July 21st, 2026. We add in the moon and look what it does here. So here's the moon at 4 degrees Scorpio, 3:40 p.m. Pacific time. And the moon will briefly move through this incredible alignment, which is a T-square, forming a T-square between Jupiter and Pluto, with the moon in a square to both. You can see this little square. That just means they're 90 degrees apart, with Jupiter and Pluto being 180 degrees apart. Also, the moon forming this yod formation with an in conjunct, that's this little symbol here, looks like a picnic table, to Uranus and Neptune, which are in a sextile here. So just the geometry of what gets created when these outer planets are in this shape already is just fascinating. So, and of course, the moon is going to continue. So, on Sunday, it was over here in Libra. Today, it's over here in Scorpio. You know, in a couple days, it'll be over here in Sagittarius, doing that same thing, but on the other side. And then by the full moon on the 29th, the moon will be over here right next to Pluto, further activating this whole cradle. So anyway, I don't know if you find that as fascinating as I do, but I just think that the geometry of all of this is so cool. And what it means when we have these exact alignments in astrology with the planets is that we have this kind of extra potency. It's like a key fitting into a lock. It's just kind of, it goes click, and something can shift with that click. And because there are so many cycles happening here and so many geometric alignments at the same time, there are like all of these clicks going off at the same time. Click, 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 right? And so things can shift, things can be unpredictable, things are awakening. So pay attention to what's going on, especially with the Scorpio moon today, what's going on in your inner world, your emotional world, your dreams, like energetically sort of below the surface, what you notice even in your relationships, right? It's not just sort of the words that are being spoken or the actions or the behaviors or whatever. It's also the energy that is beneath that, right? The intention, the feeling, the the deeper emotional patterns that are surfacing. So all of that is part of what is here for that potential click, for that potential like, oh, I see. I couldn't see that before, and now it's like I can understand something I couldn't see before. So those little clicks are possible, very possible with all of this going on. And especially as we go through time, there are different phases to this experience. So before July 18th, we had like all of it sort of coming into that alignment, almost like, I keep thinking of like a kaleidoscope. You know how when you turn the kaleidoscope, the little design, aligns in a certain way, and it just kind of makes these different neat shapes. Anyway, so imagine that before July 18th, it was all sort of coming into the most cool pattern you could imagine. And now as we move past, that pattern continues to change its shape a little bit, look a little bit different, have different features or highlights, but it's still this amazing alignment. So as we go through the final days of Mercury retrograde until Mercury stations direct on July 23rd, and as we go through the Scorpio moon for the next couple of days, we really are going into this deeper part of ourselves to pay attention to what is moving below the surface, what we feel, but we can't necessarily articulate, and especially giving yourself, like, this is a time to do magic, to do ritual, to work on the energetic level, to affirm what's important to you and meaningful to you. We also have today the first quarter moon for this Cancer moon cycle. So just before the moon goes into Scorpio, it's in a square with the sun at 28 degrees Cancer. So the moon in Libra at 28 degrees Libra. Anyway, that's the first quarter moon, right? So we're also 1/4 of the way through the Cancer moon cycle, focusing on self-care and needs, learning about our deeper needs and about how to take care of ourselves as we change. So that's an underlying layer of themes here of this bigger story. So deeper, and then, once the moon goes into Scorpio, we go into that deeper place of transformation and feeling and energy below the surface. So again, affirming your intentions, affirming what you want, even if it seems impossible. This is the time to go, right? And Mars in Gemini, Uranus in Gemini is saying, get curious, ask yourself, why not? Why couldn't this shift or change? And think about a time in your life when something has shifted that you didn't expect. Bring that feeling into your body, because that's how you affirm that something that feels impossible can actually change in ways you don't expect. So and I can't promise anything, but I'm just saying this is a moment to focus your energy on your intentions and your powerful self to support yourself. And maybe you can manifest things in different ways than you have ever experienced before. So that is something that is possibly being unlocked as we move through these times. So play with it, get curious, open-ended questions, set your intentions, listen to your heart. These are all ways to think about how to navigate these energies. And with the Scorpio moon, taking that sacred time and space to honor your inner needs, to honor what is moving and changing inside of you, to allow that process to unfold, because as the caterpillar becomes the butterfly, we have to let go of the past. So that's some of what is happening as we move through times of change and opening to our own creative power to shape the future and our courage to be who we're here to be. Thanks for joining me today. I am Marina Orms. You can book a reading with me at astrologyheals.com. I do have openings still coming up here as July comes to a close. So go book now before my rates increase in August. And transformationalastrology.com is where you can stay up to date on my podcast and all that I'm doing. So go sign up for a free account there if you haven't yet. Thanks for being here and subscribing to this YouTube channel. I'm here every day with astrology for unshakable self-care, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.